Hello again. You have watched a video on the definition of pronunciation, principles of teaching pronunciation, and when to teach pronunciation. Now, let's talk more about some popular techniques in teaching pronunciation. Bowen was one of the first to stress the importance of teaching pronunciation in meaningful contexts. Rather than just distinguishing pen and pan as isolated words, Bowen embedded these minimal pair contrasts into contextualized sentences and rejoinders. Please look at the example that follows. The pen leaks, then don't write with it. This pan leaks, then don't cook with it. Cartoons and drawings can be used to cue production of particular sentences or an entire story, as well as for showing language in context. Rhythm and roleplay uses humorous cartoon stories to illustrate short plays to practice rhythm in English. In the description or analysis stage of teaching a particular feature, cartoons can be shown for the students to read and analyze. What's going on here? What's funny? Nursery rhymes, limericks, and many poems all have strong patterns of stressed and unstressed syllables that help our learners hear and to a certain extent feel the rhythm of English. One well-known use of rhythmic chants is Graham's jazz chants series. These short, easy-to-learn chants have a strong beat and can be used with adults as well as children. Drama is a particularly effective tool for pronunciation teaching because various components of communicative competence can be practiced in an integral way. Stern proposes a method for using 8 to 10-minute scene, usually involving 2 characters. Each pair of students receives the script to a different scene. Rather than memorizing the lines, they are simply to provide a dramatic reading, looking up frequently at the partner and reading with feeling. The teacher helps them prepare by modeling each line and having students repeat, drawing attention to aspects of pronunciation as they appear. After rehearsing, the pairs are videotaped, performing the scene. Following this, the pair of students remaining in the characters is first interviewed by the audience and then performs a short improvisation based on the scene. One important way to affect change in pronunciation is through kinesthetic techniques. In addition to relaxation and breathing exercises, Chan makes use of basic hand gestures to teach pronunciation. Syllables are shown by the number of fingers one holds up or by tapping out the number with one's hand. An open hand indicates stress, while closed hand shows a lack of stress. Linking thumb and forefingers between both hands illustrates linking. A sweeping hand motion for rising and falling pitch illustrates intonation. Once students are familiar with the gestures, the teacher can use them as silent correction techniques. Costa claims that pronunciation can be improved through pronunciation procedures involving reading out loud. If pronunciation includes the stress patterns of phrases, the interaction of sounds between endings and beginnings of words, and resulting pronunciation and rhythm of these phrases. In order to carry out this activity, it is important to choose a text which needs to be read out loud in real life. For example, reading out excerpts from a text to someone you think might be interested in its content, and reading a story to a young child. Radio or television reports, readings of literary works in the radio, speeches, and lectures. Chen, Fan, and Lin suggest an activity called back-chaining, which is to have students repeat the word by starting with the last syllable and extending backwards to the beginning. It is especially useful in dealing with a more than 3-syllable word. This technique can help students say the word with natural rhythm, avoiding the tendency to say a word so slowly as to make each syllable equally clear by attempting to chain it for word. Games can be employed to teach pronunciation because they are motivating. There are several books by teaching experts, pronunciation games and activities, primary pronunciation box, pronunciation games and activities for younger learners. Tongue twisters are an interesting way to practice and contrast similar sounds and have fun at the same time. But it is difficult for teachers and students to do it well. Teachers should tell students at first not to feel upset at making mistakes because it is even challenging for native speakers. For example, we have pink lorry, yellow lorry, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, seashells on the seashore. Using songs is another motivating technique to teach pronunciation. It should be noted that teachers should design the task in which different aspects of pronunciation are practiced. One activity suggested by Lin can deal with the final consonants using song lyrics. Teachers can ask students to read some popular song lyrics out loud to practice final consonants. Most learners, especially Vietnamese, usually drop the final consonants often and pronounce them too lightly to be heard. For example, they produce student as student. Therefore, we ask them to read the marked song lyrics of Silent Night, in which the final consonants in each sentence have been underlined, and then to listen to the song to notice how the singer produced final consonants.